As everybody knows, AI is moving so quick and we're all just trying to keep up with it. And Anthropic is coming and hitting here with a big one that I think is going to revolutionize the entire business space in general, not just RevOps, but everybody that works on a computer. This here might just have revolutionized it. What we're talking about today is Claude Cowork. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown on what Claude Cowork is. We're going to walk through this blog post that Anthropic just dropped, and I'm going to show you 3 examples of how you could be using Claude Cowork in your RevOps. All right, so let's break it down real quick. So as you know, Claude Code is the latest and greatest thing. Everybody's using it. Even though it has the word code in it, doesn't mean that people are using it just to write code. People are using it to do research, to build different files, to perform different tasks on their behalf. Well, the great smart folks at Anthropic realized that, and they introduced a new feature within the Claude app called Claude Cowork. And Claude Cowork is essentially a non-terminal version of Claude Code. It has access to your files on your local machine and is able to perform tasks on your behalf. So in this example here that they show, they give a complete breakdown and they show an example here. I'm going to run this one more time where somebody says, hey, please help me organize my desktop. And Claude Cowork goes through and analyzes its files, and it begins to, and it asks them questions on how do you want to organize your desktop, and it goes ahead and updates that desktop, and you'll see it transform in real time as Claude Cowork transforms this. A lot of this could have been done in Claude Code already today. However, as you see here, this is not as intimidating because it is not a terminal. It's a nice interface. So with that said, let's walk through 3 use cases that I can see Claude Cowork being super helpful for. Here, I've pulled up Claude Cowork. Claude Cowork, if you are on the Max plan, you are in the beta essentially to be able to access, or the alpha, whatever they're going to be calling it, to be able to access it and use it. You'll see here it's a tab up top. This is fully accessible from within the Claude desktop application. So I'm going to show you here 3 different implementations that I've put together. All right, so for the first example here, we have gathered some financial data, some employee data, and we're trying to prepare for a board deck. And I'm going to have Claude Cowork analyze the data for me and put together a PowerPoint slide and a Excel file that both are within my company branding. So let's just dive right into it and show you how that's done. Here, first off, you can select the folder that you would like to be working in. So here I have a board deck prep folder, and within here I'm going to break down all the files. But first, we're going to go ahead and allow Claude Cowork to use this file. And I'm going to grab my prompt real quick. I've written out a nice prompt here for us to use. And this is going to take a minute to run. As it runs, I'm going to break down the prompt and all of the different features that you'll see here on the right side. So first off, let's start this few. So the interface here should be very similar to what you're used to in Claude/Anthropic's ecosystem, very similar. First, let's break down our prompt. Essentially here, what I've provided it is a prompt that defines for it all the different files that I've included. Number 1, I have here a HubSpot deals export with our current pipeline, a Stripe export with MRR and subscription data, a HRIS export with employee headcount, and a design system MD file that includes brand guidelines. And essentially what I'm telling Claude Cowork here to do is, number 1, go through and create for me an Excel workbook that is these 3 tabs, which is pipeline summary, my MRR trends, and my headcount. Then I'd like for you to create a second output, which is the PowerPoint presentation where I can create a board ready slide deck with the following details. It basically includes 5 slides, a title slide, a pipeline overview, a revenue metrics, a team slide, and a summary. I essentially tell it, hey, I've provided you all of our styling. Make sure everything you produce is on our brand guidelines, essentially. So as it's running here, this will look very familiar to the current UI that you're used to. The new stuff is on the right side. Number 1, at the top right here, we have a progress bar that essentially breaks down right away the tasks. So this is very similar to plan mode in Claude Code, you'll see here that it's broken down each of the different actions that I've requested into different tasks. It first analyzed and calculated the metrics, then it created the Excel workbook, and now it's working on creating the PowerPoint presentation, and then it's going to verify at the end. So what did I include here? And this is what's very nice about this new Claude Cowork implementation is it gives you the ability to see what's in the context window a little bit easier. So number one, I included my HubSpot deals export. What's nice about this, I can open it directly in here, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that we can look at this. And I essentially included a HubSpot deals export that contains all of my deal information, right? This is some synthetic data, obviously. And Stripe RR export, included that in here as well. A subscription export as well from Stripe, and a HRIS employees export. And lastly, I've included the design system, which essentially includes in-depth guidelines on our branding. This is what I usually give to AI and allow it to use it to create things that are within our branding, right? Just trying to give it more context. And the nice thing too that I really like, this is a simple feature, but I actually love this. Number one, you can preview the file in here. Great. But let's say I wanted to open it real quick in Excel. I just have to hit a button and I can open this up in Excel and it'll pop it up right for me, which is the coolest thing for me, I feel like. For anybody that works kind of on these kind of projects, find a lot of use for it. Next thing here you'll see is it started to create its own like skills, and it started to create a lot of its own working documents that it uses. So for example here, it's obviously, just because I understand from the technical perspective what it's doing to create the slides, it's using this package called HTML2 PPTX library, and actually just calls it out here. So essentially how that works is it creates some HTML files, then it will create the slide ultimately from that HTML file. And if you see here, we have a section called artifacts. These are the artifacts that are being generated by Claude Code, and this is what Claude Cowork is actually using. So here you can see we have our slide underscore title.html, and this is essentially the slide, and this is what's going to get generated. Here's the script that it ended up using to create the Excel file. Here's the script it ended up using to, or is working on using to create the PowerPoint presentation. And as you see here, and this is the beauty of Claude Cowork, right? It's giving you full visibility on every single thing that it's working on. So right now here, it's creating the PowerPoint presentation for us to view and use. So in the meantime, while it does that, we can look at our Excel spreadsheet, because as I can see here, it's already created that, and we can pull that up already. So if I come into Claude Code, I can look at my Excel SX here. Fortunately, you can't load Excel SX files, and that's probably because that's not really a text file format versus a CSV is technically a text file format. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up that Excel file that it created. And as you see here, it's essentially done exactly what I needed. It's calculated and summed up all of the data, and it's put it for me in a nice format. This is our branding. This black and white is our style, the font style, and it's giving me all of the different worksheets / tabs inside the file that I requested as well in here. It looks like the PowerPoint presentation is also completed, so that it cannot load as well, but we will open it up here. And just like that, we have a PowerPoint presentation that is on brand and contains our data. This is exactly our branding. If you ever visit our website, this is exactly what it looks like. And this presentation looks great to me, right? It's included its sources. It's created some nice diagrams to break down for me. And I'm ready for my board meeting in a matter of minutes, right? I've just given it thousands of lines to analyze, and within minutes, it's analyzed all these lines and created for me key takeaways, and I'm ready for my board meeting. It's crazy how quick and easy this is to do. Hey, real quick, sorry to take you away from the video, but if any of the tech or anything that I've described in this video sounds super cool to you and interesting, and you're looking for some help implementing this for your team, click the link in the description to get a free 30-minute consultation to figure out how we can implement this and other great ideas to your go-to-market strategy and help your RevOps team 10x their output. Now, back to the video. All right, so let's dive into our second use case that I thought of here. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to hit create new task. And we can run these in parallel. Claude Cowork is supposed to work under multiple tasks in parallel, but in this scenario, I just ran them one by one. So I'm going to grab my next prompt here, and I'm going to give you a breakdown on what I am doing. So let's just select our correct working file. This time, I'm going to be preparing for some one-on-ones with my sales team, and I'm going to give you a rep activity audit. So I'm going to run this once again, and I will give you a breakdown of the prompt and exactly what is occurring here. So number one, I need to prepare for one-on-ones with my sales teams. I've gathered all of the information based on different activity that they've done, and I want to summarize and figure out who's under target and who's on target and who's above our current target. So I wanted to create a coaching summary document, Word document, with the following. Section number one is going to be the activity leaderboard. So it's going to rank reps by total activities. And that includes things like emails sent, calls made, meetings booked. Then I'm going to have a second section where below target reps, and I define here the target. So each rep should have a daily active target of 50 emails, 25 calls, and 2 meetings booked. And then here I'm going to flag which reps are performing below our targets essentially, and which metrics are they missing. Lastly, in section 3, we're going to get a rep by rep breakdown. For each rep, create a short summary that I can reference in a one-on-one, and it'll include details like the total activities. So as you see here, it's running as usual, and let's see what we've provided it. Number one, I gave it the activity targets for my reps. This is just synthetic data. Obviously, we're not talking about people's real jobs here. And I've also given it the outreach activities export, where it contains a breakdown of each the different activity types that each rep does. So what did Claude Cowork end up putting together as a plan? Number one, it's going to analyze all of our data, and it's going to calculate the metrics on a per rep basis. Now, it is working on creating a coaching summary Word doc for us that gives us all of the requested details. And within a matter of minutes here, we have our file, and it looks like it's already generated, but they're working on finalizing that right now. We're just going to give that a minute to run. Maybe we could look at the skill that it got created as well. So this is an example of the skill implementation that Claude Code has. And this skill essentially breaks down the different feature for creating a docx file, and it contains a complete breakdown on what it should use and what kind of fonts, and it gives itself some rules to abide by and some processes to run to generate these files for us. And this should almost be done here, so we're going to give it a minute. Okay, it's written quite a large document. It's had 10,000 characters there, so we're just going to give this a minute here to wrap up. And once again, the beauty of this is it gives you a complete breakdown on what it's working on. So if you don't like the way that it's thinking, you don't like the actions it's performing, you can simply come in here and say, hey, rather than make this 25 calls, let's make it 30 calls. And you can update these things on the fly. And, 90% below target is sort of the activity levels that it's picked. You can choose to say 75%, up to your discretion, essentially. And just like that, it's finished the analysis. And in here too, what's great, and I should have showed this on the other one, it gives us an in-depth breakdown on the findings, right? So Sarah Chen leads with 45 activities versus Olivia Brown had 37, etc. Some coaching highlights, etc. But the real meat and potatoes that we really care about is inside of this Word doc. So we're just going to go ahead here, hit open in Microsoft Word, which is an amazing feature. And we're going to pull this over for you guys to see. And essentially within a matter of minutes, we've created a complete sales team coaching summary breakdown, and I'm ready for my one-on-ones. And it's broken it down for me by the activity leaderboard, so I can see who my top performers are and who's not. Below target reps, it looks here like a lot of the team is performing below the target. And then a rep by rep breakdown. And as you see here, it gives us in-depth details. It's done all of the analysis for us, number one. Number two, it's created all of the documentation for us. If I gave it more context, I could have even driven it to create the document in the manner or in the format that I see best. I left it up to it on this run, and it generated something great on a first go, genuinely. So, genuinely, I'm always stunned sometimes, even with all these updates, as to the stuff that we see. All right, so let's dive into our third use case. And this is one that I know a lot of people out there watching run into. You know, when you go to those events and you get those photos of business cards and you have that badge scan and you have some notes that you wrote up on the side, making that into a actionable item list or something of value is always difficult. I know this for a fact. But the most difficult part of all is ultimately getting that into the CRM in an effective manner that is quick and easy to do. In this use case here, I'm going to run through an example using some synthetic data. So once again, we're going to go ahead, we're going to pick our project, and we're going to say here, this is the event lead processing. I'm going to start the process, and I'm going to walk you through the prompt and the context that I've given it and the output. So here, I should have filled this in with some conference name to make it a little bit better, but I just said I came back from the conference. I have a CSV export of badge scans from the event. I have some photos of business cards I collected in the conversation. And I would like for you to create a single CSV file ready for CRM import with the following columns, and I've included all of the columns. And then I've included here instructions to scan the business card photos and merge them with the badge scan data to ultimately create one final CSV and a short summary of the total leads processed and any records that need manual review and any duplicates you merged. All right. So what did I provide it? Number one, I have the raw badge scans, which, as you can imagine, a ton of people get these during conferences because you're scanning badges all day long. I gave it a manual notes CSV file here that are some notes that I wrote on the side. For example, Michael T, very interested in the enterprise tier. I also created some synthetic business cards. I created 3 different PNG files that are as if they are business cards, just mock data here to simulate that. And essentially what this ended up doing was it ended up creating for us a plan where it, number one, parses and cleans the badge scan data and extracts the contact info from the business cards. It merges the data and deduplicates the data, standardize the formatting, and then it flags records with missing emails, and then it generated the final CSV for us. So as you see here in the final export, which this happened lightning quick, genuinely cannot believe it. It ended up giving us a quick summary here. We had 77 leads come in, 74 from badge scans, 3 from business cards. We have 4 duplicates. So Michael Torres, for whatever reason, got scanned twice, Jennifer Liu, Hannah Phillips, etc. And there's some records that need some manual email lookup. Your notes say to find on LinkedIn. And what did that do? It created for us a nice and easy, simple CRM import ready leads file that we can use. So if you see here, it essentially gathered all of that information that I had and it put it for me into a nice file in a matter of minutes. Genuinely, like, this kind of stuff used to take teams hours to do. But now we're able to set up systems that allow us to perform this. And let's just look at this real quick. So Sarah Mitchell here, if we pull up Sarah's record, so we're just going to do Sarah Mitchell, you'll see here that it scanned the business card from a photo, right? It filled in the email, it filled in the phone number, the company name, the role, and it said the source was business card. Matter of minutes. So, I think Claude Cowork here, guys, has really, really done an awesome job. It's going to revolutionize the workplace. It's going to revolutionize RevOps. And I'm here for it. I'm going to embrace it. And I'm going to help teams implement this on a much bigger scale for much more complex problems. With that said, guys, if any of this sounds interesting to you and you're interested in learning more or need help implementing this for your team, I have a link in the description to schedule a consultation for free. We also have an ebook down there too you can grab. But either way, thanks so much for watching, guys. I wish you the best of luck out there. Good luck.